Hi friends, and welcome to my channel. My name is Missy, and in this video I'm talking about my postpartum 2-month journey. The last video I did was 1 month postpartum, and I cataloged it by every week because things were like so dramatically happening. I'll link that video below if you want to check it out. But things have kind of like slowed down a big time. I didn't do it week by week because really not that much has been going on. Physically wise, my bleeding has completely stopped. I'm not bleeding anymore. I do have, I guess the fancy name is bladder incontinence, I think. When I was pregnant, I was just peeing myself constantly. And postpartum, I'm still doing that. It's slowed way down. Like when I was pregnant, I was changing the bladder pads like throughout the day. Now one pad lasts me the whole day, but it's still kind of annoying. So to tackle that, I am doing Kegels. I have a Kegel app. I think I talked about it in the last video. This is the one I'm using right here on my phone. It just gives you like little exercises to do, and I try to do an exercise every single time I breastfeed. And I've also just recently started doing postpartum yoga, especially yoga with Adrienne. She has a series on pelvic floor exercises or yoga exercises, so I've been doing those. I just started doing those this week, so it's not like anything dramatic has happened. I already said the bleeding stopped, bladder incontinence, so that's really like it for that. Weight wise is kind of discouraging, but like I'm just like, okay, whatever. I maybe in the last month have lost like a pound, so I am still about 40 pounds heavier than I was pre-pregnancy, which kind of stinks because I'm in this limbo of where my pre-pregnancy clothes obviously do not fit. My maternity clothes, I have maternity jeans that are too big because like the last few months of my pregnancy, I just wore leggings. So I had 3 pairs of leggings. One of them, I wore a hole in the legs from Chub Rub. If you know what I'm talking about. So I have 2 pairs left, and I've been rocking those because I don't like, with Paul, I wore like this, I had this sensation of like my organs were gonna fall out after I gave birth. So I had this Velcroed girdle, really. It's made for postpartum, kind of like an ace bandage around your belly, and it had these Velcro. It's real stiff, and I really like that feeling of being like secure and held in. I don't need that, but it's like I don't like just my pregnancy leggings are really stretched out, and then all of the breastfeeding shirts are kind of loose, so I didn't feel like I had enough support. So what I brought out recently the last 2 weeks is my belly band. So it's literally just a piece of fabric that goes around. It's meant to be like you wear your regular jeans when you're pregnant and you put this belly band on, and it's just enough compression to like hold your pants on basically. I kind of forgot about it, and actually Matt, my husband, mentioned it. So I brought that out, and I've been wearing that basically all day long. And I just ordered a new set from Amazon because I just had the one. So then I noticed when the day I was washing it, it was a big difference. I like that. Just, you could probably accomplish the same thing by wearing like a tight fitting cami and then like your regular shirt. That's like the compression that I'm getting. I've been wearing that, and it's just getting comfortable in your own skin. Diet is something that I started really looking at, not going on a diet, but looking at my diet. So I had been eating just kind of like whatever, whenever, and there were days like we had some people over last week and we had pizza, and I made chocolate chip cookies, and I ate way too much, and I just felt really bloated and gross. And I'm already 40 pounds overweight, so to feel 40 pounds overweight and then bloated and gross was just like, okay, enough. Something has to be done. So this week I've just gone back to like protein shakes, fruits and vegetables, smoothies, salads, high protein things. I started my sourdough stuff again because I don't have celiac, and I wouldn't go as far as to say that I have a wheat allergy, but I can definitely feel a difference between when I eat a lot of regular wheat versus wheat-free or sourdough, which is fully fermented, the stuff that I make. So I kind of switched on to that. That's been helping and making me feel a little bit better. I do weigh myself like every other day, but I count the weight in my iPhone on Mondays. So like today, just been eating healthy this week, I've dropped a couple pounds, but I don't actually count that till Monday. So we shall see if today's just been an off day or not. Visitors, we did have, my parents came to visit, and that went really well. I didn't have any anxiety or stress issues with them being here. The funny thing is when I talked to my mom, she asked, how long do you want us to stay? Do you want us to stay in a hotel? And I kind of like the idea of the hotel to give myself a break overnight, but Matt was like, no, that's silly. We have a spare room. Everybody can just stay here. So we just decided that all of our house guests are out of state. So they're going to stay here. And I told my mom Monday to Sunday would be really good, you know, just like, because I know she gets here like mid Friday and then would probably leave Sunday morning. And then just, you know, that was a while ago. And then when they were here Sunday, they were still here and they ended up staying till Monday. It was totally fine at that point. I was like kind of prepping, thinking that I might not be able to handle it well, but that went fine. My sisters are coming next week, which is exciting. So they'll be able to meet Tilly. Matt's parents are going to probably be next. We just haven't scheduled anything with them yet. So it's very exciting to have this little girl meet her extended family and to have people, you know, start seeing people again. Like I said, I had my girlfriend come last weekend, which was really nice. I've gone to like a couple different things here and there. So it's only been 2 months, but I kind of feel like almost my normal self. I'm able to, like, you know, do things you couldn't do when you were pregnant, which are like little things you don't think about. Like putting on your own socks used to be such a challenge, and now I can do that very freely. You know, you can do most things. I can bend around, I can reach things I couldn't do when I was pregnant, and now I can. And like I said, I started the pelvic floor yoga, so there's just like this morning routine yoga that I used to do every day, and I was trying to do it, and I'm just like not even remotely close to being as flexible as I was before I had the baby. So I would say the one thing that I am struggling with right now is my back and shoulder pain. So little Matilda, I did her update and we said that she was underweight. So we are feeding her literally every 2 hours during the day and every 3 hours at night. So that is like 2 middle of the night feedings. And we have a recliner in our bedroom, which is awesome. But the problem is when I feed her, I am like falling asleep and hunching over. And one of those nights that I did that, I like crazy pulled some kind of like something in my upper shoulders. And my awesome chiropractor actually had a baby, so she's on maternity leave. I do have an appointment with her in I think 2 weeks, which cannot come soon enough. But that is something that I'm trying to deal with, is remember to using like pillows and stuff for posture, especially when you're breastfeeding. You can even say when you're formula feeding, it's just so tempting to just like, you know, sit there and look at your cute little baby and be all hunched over, but it is so bad for your form. Or even when I'm baby wearing like this, I'm trying to keep my back straight instead of like hunching over, because you're just, you know, using all these different things that you weren't using when you were pregnant or before you had a baby. And the same thing with Paul. My shoulders and like upper back got really like tight after I had a baby, mostly from breastfeeding, really, just holding them. It doesn't really happen during the day because I'm aware of it. It's when I feed her in the middle of the night, I get that like, you know, feeling. And speaking of middle of the night feedings, we're just trying to struggle through it. Maybe I'll do a video one day of like my routine, as much as a routine as I can. But I try to put her down at 7, and then I still do, depending on what time do we do this? So I try to put her down at 7 p.m. at night, and that correlates with when Paul is going to sleep. So Matt usually tackles Paul. I tackle this one. I feed her. We are done swaddling, which makes me so sad. That was another thing. We swaddled till about 2 months, and I just read somewhere that's a good marker to kind of switch them out. I switched her from swaddle to a sleep sack, or a wearable blanket, really. She wears long PJs, the wearable blanket. I breastfeed her, and I still put her in our room in the bassinet, and I let her sleep for 3 hours. Or, I'm sorry, from the start of breastfeeding, she goes 3 hours. So that's usually about around 10 o'clock. And that's when I'm ready for bed. So then I can just, you know, when I'm done with her, sometimes it takes like a half hour to make sure that she's completely out. I come downstairs here, like, you know, clutter clean, do dishes, try to edit if I can. That's when I take a shower, all sorts of good stuff. 10 o'clock we feed her again, then we try for 1. Sometimes I am horrible with alarm clocks, so I'm hitting the snooze, snooze, snooze. So it's between 1 and 2, and then we try to wake up at like 5 to 6 to feed her again. And that's pretty much been consistent the last couple weeks. She does go to the doctor on Monday, so we're going to see if her weight percentile looks good enough that I don't even know what he would recommend. Instead of, you know, 3 to 4 hours, if we can jump to the 4 to 5 hours or something, basically just have one middle of the night feed. I know it's a problem that a lot of moms wish they had, but yes, I have to wake her up. She doesn't wake up to feed, so she dropped weight percentile dramatically within the first 2 months, but my son did the exact same thing, and now he's fine. Fingers crossed everything is okay. So that's what we're dealing with night feedings. During the day, having 2 kids can be a little challenging. I'm just trying to like work things out the best I can. I know with kids, once you try to get a routine as an adult, your mindset's like, I need a routine. This is what we do every day. They like to switch it up. So like I was getting my editing done in the morning because I'd feed her, put her back to sleep around like, 5, 6 a.m. in the morning. Matt would leave to work. Paul wouldn't get up till like 7:30, 8. So I'd have this like hour and a half in the morning where I could eat breakfast and have like hot coffee and I would edit. Well, now Paul gets up at 6 a.m. He's been doing this all week. So I don't have like any time in the morning. It's like once I wake up, it's mom go time all day long. We shall see. I'm just working on that. Paul's been very good. He loves her, loves being around her. He just loves her almost like too much. So he's constantly like touching her. So when I try to feed her during the day and he's up, and if I wanted her to fall asleep in my arms, it's not going to happen because Paul is just, he comes on the couch, he wants to touch her, he wants to kiss her head. He's just constantly waking her up. So I pretty much feed her. I put her in a chair lounger for a couple seconds to let her kind of like, digest when she's done. And then as long as she's happy, I either put her down on the floor in her gym or I have a little bouncy chair that she sits in. And then the second she gets fussy, I put her in here and she sleeps for about 30 to 45 minutes. Then I take her out and I feed her and I do that cycle again. So Paul right now is upstairs and asleep. So what I'll do is I'll sit on the couch and just hold her and let her like basically nurse and sleep the entire time. So she'll get like a really big 2-hour nap in the afternoon when Paul is napping. Knock on wood, that has been working out really well. So we shall see. And then I'm getting caught up on my Netflix and things. So I do have relaxed time. So the morning is basically like, I'm like a chicken without a head. I'm like doing dishes, I'm doing laundry, I'm doing cloth diapers, I'm making sourdough recipes, I'm filming, cleaning, what have you, and then nap time happens, and then I like to pick up all of the mess again for Paul's toys, pretty much just watch TV in the morning. So I pick up all the toys mess that he's made during the morning. That's at the point I am now. I film if I can. Then I'm about to go feed her. I'll sit down, watch Netflix and relax, and then it's like, 3, 4 o'clock, and we try to either go out, play on the deck, or we go for a walk, weather permitting. It's raining now, so I'll probably go on the deck. So I try to not do TV in the afternoon. We were doing TV pretty much all day for a few weeks in the beginning, and it was just a necessity. I had to have help, basically. So that's kind of the routine we do. And then it's just dinner, and then after dinner, it's bedtime routine, and this day just continues. It's funny, because like my husband would be like, oh my God, I can't wait for Saturday, the weekend, and I'm just like, it's the same for me. It doesn't matter. It's just the same thing over and over again. So, I've been getting into like a new mom of 2 routine. Leaving the house though is still something I struggle with, and I struggled with Paul, and it has nothing to do with the pandemic. It's just handling the 2 of them by myself, which is funny because now I flash back and think, man, if I just had her, it would be so much easier. And when I just had Paul, I was so freaked out to go by myself. Granted, it was the pandemic had just started. It was like he was born January 2019, so but now it's like more of I can figure her out, but Paul is the wild card, whether he's going to run around. He refuses to go in the stroller now, so it's like, I'd prefer to go with somebody else. Like when she has a pediatric appointment, Matt usually comes with me just because like I can't handle both of them. So I'm starting to, venture out. My sister's coming for almost a week. We're going to go to Costco together with the kids. There is a playground in town that I have never taken Paul to, so I'm going to take him with my sister so she can like help me. It's one of those things I just need to do it once and then I'm good. I took him to the library once by myself, but I did not have her. Matt had her. We shall see. We might go to the library too, but things are going really, really well. I'm just being patient with my body basically and kind of still adjusting a little bit, but feeling a lot better than I did the last time I filmed this last month ago. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this interesting. If you have any comments, questions, or anything you want to tell me in the comments below. I love hearing from you. Subscribe if you haven't. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.